We are starting our meeting today with Afghanistan, and I think that's really fitting, because in Afghanistan we have invested a lot. Together we have achieved a lot, and we want to ensure that Afghanistan continues to move forward. Warmly welcome and thank you for hosting us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary General, distinguished ministers and delegates. These challenges leave negative effects not only on our collective security, but also on our public orders, economies, cultures and societies. Today's crisis obliges us to develop a forward-thinking culture in order to confront a new set of challenges. Preparedness and responsiveness have become two indispensable elements when shaping our security and defense policies. It is with this understanding that Turkey has offered to assume the responsibility of framework nation in the very high readiness joint task force for 2021. Turkey's unmatched geostrategic location gives us a unique perspective on all these challenges that I mentioned. Turkey feels direct impacts of every development that emerges from the areas of instability surrounding the southern and eastern flanks. We are poised to act with our allies in order to make a vital and constructive contribution in facing the full spectrum of challenges. In Afghanistan, we all know that there is still a long way in order to attain the capacity to cope with the evolving security challenges there. We need to consolidate our achievements and continue to help the Afghan authorities to implement the needed reforms during the transformation decade. Achievements of the last 13 years in Afghanistan are still fragile. That is why we see the continuation of NATO's and the wider international community's presence in Afghanistan necessary beyond 2016. We will support Afghanistan both bilaterally and including through NATO as long as it is necessary and the Afghan people so require. With this understanding, we have assumed the responsibility of Kabul International Airport in addition to and in line with our resolute support mission framework nation responsibility in the Kabul area. We will also contribute $60 million for the financial sustainment of the Afghan national security and defense forces over the 2015-2017 period. The crisis in Ukraine showed us how fragile is the security and stability in Europe. Ukraine should be supported so that it can better provide security to its own people. The conflict in Syria has entered its 5th year. More than 220,000 people have lost their lives so far. 12 million Syrians have become refugees and internally displaced persons. There are more than 1.7 million Syrians in Turkey. While hosting them, we have spent around $5.6 billion so far, while the total amount of aid from the whole international community has remained only at around $356 million. We have been supporting a political solution to end this crisis. This can only be achieved through a genuine political transition on the basis of the legitimate demands and aspirations of the Syrian people. Without the Syrian national coalition, any political process in Syria will face lack of legitimacy both in the international fora and on the ground. As the Daesh threat grows, we see an increasing violence of terrorism at our doorstep. Being the only NATO country that shares a land border with Daesh-controlled areas, this terrorist organization is a direct threat to our national security. In order to eliminate Daesh in Syria and Iraq, which should be seen as a single theater of operation, international community requires to better coordinate and cooperate its presence. We should also deal with the root causes of the Daesh terror, and that requires a comprehensive strategy including military, political, economic and humanitarian dimensions.